about the organization, about the entity which is making you PMP certified. So PMI is a not-for-profit organization. It was established in 1969 in USA. It has more than 500,000 members and across the globe, and the number is ever increasing. The number will keep changing and keep increasing, and PMI is doing a lot in uplifting the profession, in advocacy for the profession. They are setting the standards and conducting the research and providing access to the wealth of information and resources. They actually have done a lot for the project management fraternity. If I go back in time, 20 years back when I started, 22 years back when I started my career, at that time when we talk about a manager, it used to be a professionally qualified manager. As the industry grew in India, a lot of people got engaged with IT and the economy opened up. Lot of people got this opportunity to work in the private sector. Technically, they are strong, extremely strong, very good, and the power that India has in terms of knowledge and the talent. But to manage a project, we require certain skills, certain specific knowledge, but how we are going to handle it, how we are going to control it, how we are going to lead it, and how we are going to complete it within all the given constraints that we have. And PMI identified that gap. It is not only in IT, but this phenomena is across all the industries, be it construction, be it IT, be it manufacturing, everywhere. PMI saw that gap, and they came up with this PMBOK, which is a guide to project management body of knowledge. So PMBOK provides you the certain standards, industry standards. So it is made up of processes and knowledge areas, and they have been developed by the experts around the globe. And PMI also provides the professional development. So what they offered is the different kind of certification based on the industry standard and the best practices that they have. PMP is one of the certification that is offered by PMI. You have ACP, you have PGMP, Risk Management Professional, Agile Certified Practitioner, and a lot of other courses. And PMP is one of the most prominent certification that PMI has. So what is this PMP certification? As I told you, PMI has this project management body of knowledge which is made up of the best practices which are developed and gathered by the professionals across the globe. And after you read this, after you go through that, you need to take up this examination, and once you clear the exam, you will be called as a project management professional. So this certification is globally recognized and very much in demand right now. And if you go to some place and you tell them you are a project manager, so they may have to ask certain questions to check your knowledge, whether you really know about the project management or not. But if you go and tell them that I am PMP certified, they will not ask those basic questions, they will not ask certain questions, because they are already aware. You have already proven your knowledge about the project management, about the industry best practices. So that recognition is given to you by PMP certification. And of course, it helps you in advancing your career. It helps you in getting better opportunities outside your organization, within your organization. I have seen in my experience several times when we look for when the client is looking for a manager, for a person who can manage their project, they specifically ask that we want a manager who is project management, so PMP certified. So this makes it quite useful and also the valuable thing. Okay, so that is about this PMP certification. And now we are going to start with the prerequisites. What is it that you need to apply for this PMP certification and how you can obtain that certification? You need to have a bachelor's degree like graduation or BA, BCom in any discipline, or an engineering degree. And if you are a bachelor, you need to have 4,500 hours of project management experience accumulated in minimum 36 months of time. So when I say 4,500 hours, means they must be from non-overlapping duration. For example, if you are a project manager and you are handling 3 projects at the same time, and you are overseeing those 3 projects and you have 8 hours available to you in a day, you cannot say that the total time spent on project management activity is 24 hours in a day. No, it has to be from non-overlapping projects. So if you may handle multiple projects, but if you're handling the same projects at the same time, you will have to document that information in a specified format that from this particular time or this duration, let's say from 1st April 2014 to 30th April 2014, you worked on project A, and this was the time that you spent towards the planning activity, execution activity, monitor and control, or initiating or closing or anything. You need to document that, and at the same time, you also need to provide reference of a person who can vouch or who can certify that, because all the applications, out of all the applications, 20% of the applications are picked up for random audit, and if your application is picked up for audit, PMI is going to contact those people and they may be asked to furnish certain details which will certify that yes, you worked on that project and the information you have provided is true. If you do not hold a bachelor's degree, if you have a diploma, high school diploma, or some other diploma, then you need to have 7,500 hours of experience gained over minimum 60 months time, that is 5 years time. And the process remains the same. It's just a number of hours that will expand. And you need to undergo a training which will give you 35 contact hours. So Mohit gave you an introduction about the session. He briefed about the session that we have. So that session is going to give you 35 contact hours. You can do that through online learning. And when you are applying for the examination, you may have to scan and upload the copy of that certificate along with your application form. Okay. And one important thing, people ask me all the time that, you know, I have been working for past 8 years and 9 years, but my designation was not manager. I was a lead, a tech lead, or a system analyst, or any other designation. No, your designation does not matter. What really matters is how much time and effort you have spent towards project management activities. And how we capture that, I'm going to talk about that in some time, you know, when we reach to the process group areas. So that is about the prerequisites, and this is about the, okay, I'll wait for a few seconds. Yeah, so the slide is visible to all of you. Okay, so this is about the examination pattern. So the day you receive an email, okay, you have filled up the form, you submitted your credentials and details to PMI. PMI did the verification of that, and at end of that verification, you will receive an email from PMI saying that yes, your application is accepted. Now you go and block your examination. From that date, you will get 1 year to come to appear for the examination. And this examination is a computer-based examination which is conducted at traumatic centers, and you need to block that date in advance. Now, a tip for you, a suggestion from my side, if you're planning to take that up in next 3 to 6 months time, I would suggest you need to hurry up, because getting seat in traumatic center is not that easy. They are normally blocked all the time. And in the question, you will get, in the examination, you'll get 200 multiple choice questions which are mixed randomly. They'll be coming from all these knowledge areas and the process groups, and you will be having only 4 hours to answer those 200 questions. Out of the 200 questions, 175 questions are for the final marking, and remaining 25 questions are the pre-test questions. So, and you need to score, the passing mark for this PMP examination is 61%. So out of 200 questions, sorry, out of 175 questions, you have to ensure that you are getting 106 questions right. So these pre-test questions, you will not know which is the final question, which is a real question, and which is a pre-test question. It is not, it is for the PMI for their own research work. We cannot get into the detail of that because of the constraint of the time, but what you need to take all these 200 questions with the same level of seriousness. You just cannot say that, okay, these 25 questions, okay, I can take some chances, maybe, you know, though that can provide me some buffer or some push, some cushion. No, you will have no idea, and there is no negative marking in the examination. And this examination, this test paper and the question paper, they have multiple versions of it which are developed by the group of individuals and the professionals across the globe who hold this PMP credentials and who are the industry experts. And this examination, the nature of the question that you're going to get is not confined to any particular industry. You can get this question pertaining to any industry. But you should know the right techniques. You should be familiar with the processes. You should be familiar with the terminologies. The most important thing is to get familiar with the terminologies. You might be using any kind of terminologies in your organization, in your real life scenario, but you have to read the PMBOK and you have to become familiar with the terminologies which are being used by PMI. Otherwise, you will have a tough time while taking up this exam and you may not succeed in first attempt as well. In case if unfortunately you are not able to clear it in the first attempt, you can reappear after a gap of 30 days by paying some examination fee. Unfortunately, if you don't clear it in second time, you can go for third attempt. And let's talk about the extreme case that someone is not able to clear in the third attempt also, then that person will have to start the process from the scratch, but need not to worry about that. In my experience, I have not seen anyone who could not clear it in 3 attempts. So all good luck to you, and you need not to worry about the reattempt. Just focus on the first attempt and you will have to make a target to crack it in the first attempt. And it is not tough. It is not tough. It is, I'll not say it is very easy also. And you do not focus on memorizing the content that is there in the PMBOK. The logical understanding is the most important. So with that, I will move to the next slide. And now we will have